And my dad used to watch her come down and she'd go to work. And so...
Little stalker.
Dude. So you know what my dad did? He tells a story and we're like, Dad, you should never have told anybody that story.
You're a young blink if you're not okay.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the live stream on Twitch and also YouTube. We are back on schedule.
I keep forgetting we do both now.
I know. We're doing Twitch and we're also streaming live on YouTube. And Tracey was just telling me last week we only live streamed once because we had all of these amazing streamers that we did live with. And Tracey was just telling me outside, she's like, I miss our chat. Tracey, the chat is here. They're here for you.
Hi, chat.
Don't hi chat like
hi,
that.
Chat.
Hope you guys had a great weekend. Actually, it's weird. It was weird going all week without streaming.
It was weird.
It was really weird.
And Habib didn't get to talk. Well, you did talk.
Oh my God.
The other people, but we didn't get to talk with.
I know, with you
our
guys.
People.
With our peeps, our chat. And it was weird, but we had a lot of fun. I know we live stream on Friday. In case you didn't join us on Friday, just a quick wrap up. Last week, we streamed live with 4 amazing streamers, very successful in their field. We went through their journey, their story. The name of the series was called Journeys, and talked about how they made their way through.
I have to admit something.
Tracey, admit it.
Ramon told me that it was going to be called Journeys, and I laughed my head off and did not like it.
Really?
Yeah. It reminded me of, there was a Mad TV, and it went, lowered expectations. And for some reason, there were journeys. I don't know.
Is that you made that connection?
I don't know. It just sounded the same to me. Like, it just had that, I don't know.
Interesting.
I did not like it at first. I like it now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, because like we literally went through their journey. I think out of context, it was probably weird for you.
It was
right?
weird. I'm like, are we going to a cover band?
Oh, you're thinking like music and
Journey.
Oh yeah, like Journey, man.
I don't know. It was just weird at first, but I got it.
Yeah. No.
It takes me a minute sometimes.
I can see that though, but I mean, we literally walked through each and every one of their individual paths, journeys through streaming, how they got there, and all the stories were so different. But it was pretty amazing to like talk to all of them, was it not?
It was amazing. We had Cat Gun,
Yep.
Somerset,
Yep.
Aerial Powers, and Frisk.
Yeah.
Amazing. All 4
different.
Extraordinary
And
women.
if you didn't catch, you actually, I literally had tears in my eyes on the last one.
did.
And I think Tracey had a small tear, which is...
I had an eye boog. I was just
I had an eye boog.
I was just trying to get it.
She actually made us tear up. That was pretty ridiculous. She had a phenomenal story, but all of them were amazing. They were all good. Hope you guys had an amazing weekend. Want to say hello to everybody here today. Just hitting up the chat over here. Bling away. Good morning. Purple BTS 69. Robin L. Roll-On from Central California. Sunny. Nice. It's not so sunny over here today.
Cloudy.
A little bit, right? Ooh, Femme Phenomenal. Love that name. Good morning from North Carolina. Good morning. Iced Angel, we love you too. D. Kona, good morning from Orlando. Good morning. Brenda 85. I like the 3 in the Brenda. Kind of tricked the eye a little bit. Good morning from Los Angeles. It is gloomy this morning. I don't know what the deal is, but the weather in SoCal has been a little off. Are you hearing Greg come in? Are you hoping there's coffee?
I'm hoping. Greg?
No? Oh.
Just Jorge.
Just Jorge. He's just like pissed off. Just Jorge. Thank you, Created by Cooper, for that comment, which is Ramon, Cam, and Mike.
Thank you.
Are you seriously going to get a cam?
He has one.
I have one, yes.
So then why don't you set it up?
I have to set it up,
Okay.
Give me the camera, and I will
We will
do
set it
it
up. We will set it up, bro, because you're gonna delay because you don't want the remote cam. And dude, who has control? Can you set up a button to where we can switch?
We have to be able to. I'm gonna
Damn it.
try. Listen, he knows how.
This is ridiculous.
We call him Boy Wonder for a reason. He knows
about
how
it.
to do it.
Ridiculous. Sant Styles, what's up? JC Nails Beauty. I watched all the streams with the girls. They were really good and interesting. Thank you so much for watching. They were amazing. They were so good. Created by Cooper. Thank you for making them available for us to watch. Absolutely. The one with Fezzi was so emotional. Oh my gosh. She was Frisk was like intense, man. And then she actually posted on Twitter something so beautiful. It was amazing. Robin L. Roland, did anyone else see the message about doing Tracey's sister's nail this next weekend? I'm definitely close by, but terrified that I wouldn't do an amazing job.
Of course you would.
Ugh, my anxiety is debilitating. Please say it gets easier. Wait, I saw you posted something. What's the deal?
Yeah, so my sister Deanna, she got her nails done, and they're not bad. They're just not exactly what she wanted.
Like specifically what?
They're shorter than she wanted, and they're a little thick.
Okay.
We need a active length, tapered square ombre.
And where's she located?
She is in Tracey, Livermore area. Tracey in Livermore area.
Wait, literally? That's the name of
Yes,
where she
Tracey.
lives? Wait, as you can imagine, Trace, I've never even heard. So is this in California first? Let's play a game. Is this in California?
Northern, yeah.
Oh, it is.
Kind of by the Bay Area, Oakland, yeah, like kind of in the middle of Sacramento and San Francisco.
Got it. So if there's anybody here in that area, should they DM you? Or what?
Yeah. Send me a message.
And it's Tracey, it's T. Ryerson.
Yes.
On IG. Ramon, can you put that in the link at T. Ryerson?
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, her IG. If you're in that area, maybe you can. And don't worry, Tracy's just gonna judge you. Like she's gonna.
That's the one thing I won't do.
She's gonna request pictures, video. She's gonna want your fingerprints. And then she's gonna be at your door to give you a full questionnaire and full analysis and penalties if they're not to her standard.
And I will hold your firstborn as collateral. No. And you know what? That fear is real. I totally get what you're saying, because if someone hit me up right now, like if Melissa said, "Hey, I need you to do my sister's nails," I'd be like,
Well, why don't it?
No.
Tracey.
No.
Was she down here?
No.
When is she coming down?
She's not. And I'm not going up there to do nails.
Okay, I'm not saying you go up there to do nails. This is a great excuse for a family gathering. Like, hey sis, why don't you come down for the weekend, maybe a week, hang out with me. You can stay at my place. Bring whoever you want. I will do your nails.
I'm out of town next weekend.
Okay, what about the following weekend?
That's the wedding.
You're out of town next weekend? Oh, it's for her wedding. Oh, you're going to her wedding?
No.
I'm thoroughly confused.
So this weekend, Stan's sister's funeral.
Oh, yes.
So we're going
you're
to
out
that.
of town. Okay.
And then the following week is my nephew's wedding, but we're not going to that because we're not invited.
Oh, okay.
It's a small gathering. It's fine.
Okay. It got a little uncomfortable for a second. I was just kind of quiet.
No.
I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. I have no idea what's going on.
That's not how we roll in this family.
Oh, I know. It's a really, really small, wedding.
Gathering. Yeah.
Like, hit it and quit it, done. Like, go to the court. It's not like...
Well, no, not like quite like that. But kind of like RJ got, RJ...
It was just your family.
We just had 20 people at his wedding.
Yeah.
So it was like grandparents, extremely, his best man.
Totally.
Very condensed family.
It's actually the smartest thing I think that anyone can do. We had a pretty small wedding. It was... for the size of Mavette's, my wife's family, she's Filipino, and their family is enormous.
Just keeps going.
No, it keeps going. And then I'm Korean and Palestinian, so like Arab side of my family, endless. Korean side of the family, endless.
Yeah.
So we actually did it in Mexico, our wedding. We did it in Cabo to keep because I want to invite everybody. You could not invite people, but we did. Camera. I think it's beeping.
We'll figure it out.
You want to leave it?
When we get to that point? Here,
Does it keep
I'll
beeping?
do the usual.
and then when it goes back on. But you know what? I actually love how your son got married, and I'll tell you why. Like, I always look at my mom and my dad. They did the ultimate, like, small wedding, which was, first of all, I always talk about this. The way my mom, do you know how my mom got married? How my parents got married? Did I ever tell you the story?
No.
Oh my God. If you ask my mom, like, why did you marry dad? And so, like, my dad was obsessed with my mom. Like,
yes, I've heard that story.
That story you've heard, right? In a way where it was like, we're like, Dad, bro, that's a little creepy, dude. Like, he had a gas station, and he was in partnership, I think, with his brothers. And then my mom lived across the street in an apartment, and he would always, like, see her, like, have his eye on her. And here's the thing that's super interesting is all of my dad's family wanted to set my dad up with a friend of a friend or something like that, right?
Of course,
Middle Eastern. And my dad's like, nope. I got my eye on this Korean woman. This is in the late 60s, mind you, right?
Yeah, that wasn't done.
Nope, it was not, exactly, in LA. And you're talking about in LA, which was probably most accepted, but still not accepted. And my dad used to watch her come down and she'd go to work. And so...
It's a little stalker.
Dude. So you know what my dad did? He tells a story and we're like, Dad, you should never have told anybody that story.
You're a young blink if you're not okay.
Seriously, Tracey. Like, it was so weird. And like, this was my dad was young. He was a kid and he wanted to know, like, does she party? Does she go out all night? And, he was like, I was looking for somebody that just, wanted to be with me and I wanted to start a marriage and maybe she wasn't ready to start a marriage and maybe she was in party mode. So he would go and put rocks, like before he left for work, he would go and put rocks under her tires.
Okay, hold it. I knew that, but
Yes.
I thought that was after they're married.
No.
Not that that's okay, but I thought that was after they got married.
No, this is before he wanted to see.
Did he even know her at this point?
No. Never spoke to.
Never know.
Dude, never spoke to my mom ever. Never had a conversation with her. So he would go and put rocks. And Greg and I, when we first heard the story, we were like, "This is getting creepy, Pops. Like what?" And he was like, "No, I want her to see. Like, is she ready to get married?" And we're like, "That's like, I don't know. You're kind of pushing it, Dad." And he's like, I wanted to settle down. I want to start a family. And I just, does she go out? Does she like to party? And, I wanted to be with somebody that didn't, because he didn't do that. My dad did not go out and go party. He went to work.
Funny? That kind of actually surprises me.
What, about my dad?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, your dad was a good looking guy and he just, I don't know, he looked like he might be a player.
Are you hitting on my dad? Just kidding.
Only behind your back.
No, he was not a player at all. My dad was like, go to work, come home, like super.
Habib, this is your new mother.
My mom had no idea. So anyway, he did that for like a few days and he was like, okay, yeah, she just goes to work and comes home. And then my mom's car broke down, right? And he literally says this. She was like getting in her car and her car wouldn't start and she was getting out and he told everybody, no, but do not step. Like, I'm going over there. This is my opportunity. So he went over there and he was like, hey, I see you're having a problem with your car. And he's checking everything. And he says to my mom, he's like, okay, I'm not going to charge you. I'll fix your car, but you got to go to like lunch with me. And she was like, she the way she describes it, she's like, I don't know who this guy is, and some mechanic guy, and like that's what my mom says, like comes across the street, I don't know him, but okay, he's gonna fix my car for free. I just go to lunch with him, sure. And so basically, my dad just he goes back to the gas station. I guess he gets a canister of gas. Her car was just out of gas. And
Hold it. Are we sure your dad didn't empty the tank?
He might have seriously popped it.
Seriously. Do we not?
He might have siphoned. I've seen my dad siphon. Like, the old school way where you put the tube in.
Oh, yeah, you get the hose and
you suck.
We need gas for the lawnmower. Go get gas out of the car. Okay.
Okay,
yeah.
Exactly. He might have. He didn't tell that story. If he did, but they ended up going to lunch and they started dating. And my mom, this is what the whole point I'm getting to is the way that she describes, like, Mom, like, why did you and Dad get married? I was expecting her to be like, oh, he came across and swept me off my feet and I was so in love. She's like, I saw him. He's a hardworking man, and I thought he'd be good for family, and he's never going to leave the family. He's a good guy. And so I married him. Like a business freaking transaction. Like just all like, no, like I was like caught and oh my gosh. No, she was like, it's just so old school, and they went to the court. And then my mom said, and also it was good for tax. So is what she says. Is what she says. Like insane. Good for tax. So they got married on December 31st, 1969.
Oh, so they had the taxes for
70.
that year?
Exactly. So they could claim married and get a tax deduction for that year on the last year. And then they stayed married until my dad passed away almost 4 years ago. So like a small wedding, you know what? I don't think it matters. You know what I'm saying? Like big wedding, small wedding, medium wedding, whatever it is. It's like marriage is such a gamble. Yeah. Like it's a gamble. You know what I'm saying?
Well, my parents knew each other for 3 days before they got married. So
I love it.
Well, they kind of knew each other before. They worked at casinos. He was pit boss.
Your dad was a pit boss?
He was a pit boss.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's so dope.
And
really?
She was a change girl. Mm-hmm.
No.
Uh-huh. And he was a pig. He was a pig.
He was a pig.
And he would say stuff like one time she was having trouble with her change like thing, and she needed help, and he's all, you get your fine over here.
Oh my gosh.
And then he used to ask her, do you want to zoom a zoom? That was his.
You want to zoom? Like Zoom. They didn't have Zoom back then.
No, zoom a zoom. And one time they're fighting in front of somebody, and this guy's like, my God, you really hate each other. And she's like, no, I'm actually in love with him. He just doesn't know it. Asked her out that night. 3 days later, they were married.
No way. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
Completely tanked at the wedding. She was wearing hot pants.
Your mom?
Yeah. The little, they got married at a little church in, a little place in Reno, Weaker of the Hither, it was called. And the guy had to stop and was mad at Mom and her friend because they were just cracking up.
The whole time?
Yeah, because they were just blitzed.
Just hammered.
Yeah, and that's how they got.
And how long they've been married?
Let's see. So they got married 1 year later. They had me, so they'll be married 49 years this year.
But that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like the stories, it's insane. I love this. Shawnee Starfire. My husband and I were married in the court where we worked by his judge in his chambers. It was fairly small, just a few coworkers, 6 family members. It was nice. I love that. Yeah. Like, I love that. Like it, and it's not that I don't like you can have a big wedding and it still be beautiful and you guys be married forever, but it's a gamble. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know. Like, my mom used to always say this to me. She's like, when you date somebody, my mom used to say this. She's like, when you date somebody, live with them, and then you'll find out.
That's rare.
Dude,
moms don't say that.
My mom, when I was in high school, I mean, this is like, maybe it's like too much information, but like when I was in high school, she used to like buy condoms for Greg and I and be like,
she's like, oh, hell, I don't want grandbabies right now.
Yes. She was like, I know how teenage boys are, and you just be responsible. And I was like, stop it. Like, weird. I don't want to have this conversation with you, Mom. Like, and she's like, no. Just like, don't be stupid. Like she would say to me, like,
stupid kid.
Don't be a stupid kid. But, she's like, it's funny. She was like, she's pretty smart and understood that, we were teenage boys, we had girlfriends, and, teenagers, they have sex, right? And she's just like, hey, just be responsible. Like, here's, but getting it from your mom was
like, how do you break open that pack? Like, just kind of might ruin the moment there. Like, let me get the pack from my mom. She got me one.
Excuse me a second.
Mommy!
My mom! instead of, what's the scene from Meatloaf, Mom? What is that? What movie?
Wedding Crashers.
Wedding Crashers, yeah.
Oh,
Mom,
classic.
condoms. Mom, where are my condoms? Like just screaming.
Where's the condoms, Mom?
This is getting so bizarre and weird, I swear to God. Oh my God. Robin L. Roland, love that story. Tax break, so romantic. Yeah,
It's so
totally.
romantic.
I know. Are they still married? Created by Cooper. They were. They were married 70. Let's see. I think it was 1970. Was it? No, it was 69. So from 1960, and my dad passed away 4 years ago. So up until he passed away, they were married. I mean, I'll be honest. There were times where maybe they shouldn't be married. It's that ups and downs of of marriage. But they settled. They really. I think the last probably 15 years of my dad's life, they really enjoyed each other, and they traveled together, traveled the world, and their thing was doing cruises. You know what I mean? But they had a lot. Yeah, exactly. The biggest little city on earth, Reno. Nice. Plus, you save a ton of money. Yeah, exactly. Created by Cooper. My husband lived above me in an apartment complex. I met him because he knocked on my door apologizing for spitting on my head.
What?
He chews. He didn't spit on my head. His friend told him he did. Oh, that's hilarious. So I guess he chews, chewing tobacco. And his friend told him.
Off the balcony.
Yeah, and his friend's like, dude, you hit her in the head. So he went down and apologized. And I think that's what you're saying happened. And that's how you guys met.
Awesome.
I love this. Purple BTS. Met my husband at Burger King. We both work there. Then 2 years later, got married. And it's going to be 31 years. Congratulations. That's amazing.
31 will be this year for me, too.
In November, right?
Yeah, November.
What are you guys going to do? Do you have any plans? You're going to go somewhere? Travel? It's an excuse to just take didn't you guys go somewhere last year? You guys, for your 30th, you went to Cabo, right?
No, we wanted to, but because of COVID, we couldn't. So we rented a place near San Diego, a beach house.
That's right.
Had my son, my parents come up, my sister, and then two of our really good friends who got married the same year.
Oh, okay. That's right. And you guys all hung out.
Yeah.
That's right. Mint attic for my grandparents. My grandma was one of the prettiest ladies in the area and multiple guys going after her. My grandpa was I'm good, hardworking guy. I'll provide for the family and stuff. And they got married, stayed married till my grandma passed away a few years ago. Wow. Yeah, it's really interesting. Sort of the what you think matters in a relationship and then what actually matters in a relationship. Yeah. We've talked about this before, but even you would think that type of conversation between a man and a woman of hey, I will work hard. I'm going to make sure everything's cool. You think that's well, that's not romantic. That to me is the foundation of a really good marriage. I know that sounds insane and maybe it sounds really old-fashioned and old school, but because all of that stuff in the beginning, it fades.
Well, I always say the one thing that you just thought was adorable, that little tick that they have, that's just adorable. It's the most annoying thing. Once you get married, it really is. It's no longer cute. So it's you better be, and that's why people have to have those conversations. Do you want children?
Yeah.
What's your future plans? Not that things don't change.
Yeah.
Especially I got married so young. The one people ask how did you guys make it? And I said, we grew up together.
Yeah,
that was
totally.
the one thing. Because I had seen other people get married young, and all of a sudden they hit 21. She's partying this way, he's partying that way, and they just
split.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, you guys, I mean, I will tell you, if I got married, you were 17? Mm-hmm. Yeah, if I got married at 17, no.
just no.
Excuse me. Tracey, there's no way. There's no way. I went through so many, I had so many problems, man, and issues. It's from 17 and then into college and then into my 20s. I was a mess. And even my relationships were a mess. But I did take my mom's advice.
You took the condoms.
I did. That, number one. I did. Number two, I did live with girlfriends, you know what I mean? A couple beforehand. And it's, you know, on one hand, it's really hard because if you break up, if you live together and you break up, it's like a mini divorce.
Well, it's messy, right?
It's like so messy.
It's not, I just don't call them again. It's like, okay, we got to separate everything. Who's staying here? Who's
Dude, and it's definitely not easy. And I was in a long-term relationship, and I lived with this person. And when we broke up, we lived together, and it was let's give it another shot. She was like, let's try again. We can fix this. And I was like pretty dead set on no.
Yeah.
For me, it is over. We lived together, and it just got ugly. And I was trying to leave, and I couldn't leave. It was like, like blocking the door.
Oh, you were being prevented.
I was being prevented from leaving, so I was like, okay, let me just sit a little bit longer.
That's really hard for a guy, especially, I think, because you don't want to touch a person.
No, hell,
but you need to get out of the situation too.
Yeah, I like.
You did this little.
No, it took probably 2 hours for me to move from like down the hallway, literally one step at a time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then like I make a step, and then we would talk, make a step until I got to the door, and then it was just like, I was able to leave, and I never went back. And then I was like, you can keep everything, like you can have everything. I don't want anything. But it's rough. Like that's the only thing. But my mom was right. Through living with somebody, I found out it's like this, it's not gonna work. And then when I met my wife, it was not as fast as your parents, but it was pretty quick. Like we kind of knew each other from years ago, but we sort of reconnected, and then it was fast.
And she didn't live here.
No, she lived in New York City, and I lived in LA. I was living in was it Long Beach at the time? Yeah, I was living in Long Beach at the time, and we started dating. So when we were dating, I was flying out there, she was flying out here, and I was like, why don't you move to SoCal? And she was like, give me a reason to move. So I was like, okay. So I bought a ring and proposed like 4 months after dating. And then she moved out to, I think in June, she moved out to Southern California. And then by December, we got married. So we were like,
that's quick.
Yeah, 11 months. From when we started dating to when we got married, 11 months. And she lived in a whole nother city. Kind of crazy, actually, now that I think about it. I'm like, damn, she was into me, yo. How could you not? I put the spell on her, Trace. I put the spell on that woman, and she fell hard.
We will get a GoFundMe for you.
GoFundMe.
For the divorce. Don't worry.
Oh my God.
Is Greg out there yet? I gotta see.
Go check. I got married at 18 because I thought I knew everything. I'm 45 now. Shh. Don't worry. 47. But boy, I was wrong. Best decision divorce 8 years later ever. It's I think getting married in general is just so hard, man. It's so hard. It's hard. It's a difficult thing. You're young, you're old. For sure, if I got married when I was young, it would not have worked. I know that. I mean, Tracey I think you were way more mature. I mean, you even said it yourself. You were a good kid. You never really got in trouble, right?
Got in trouble. I was a really good kid.
You were, right?
No condoms for Tracey.
Your mom didn't hand you condoms.
But then again, I got married at 17, so.
Yeah, well, so, but you were a really good kid, and I was not a good kid. I did, really bad things, and I don't know, who knows? Maybe if I met, because I know you said Stan was pretty wild, so.
He was.
Yeah.
Before. You
got married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was wild.
He was 18?
He was 19 when he got married,
yeah.
And I was his second wife. Welcome to Redden, y'all.
That's incredible, actually.
He loves marriage, and that's the thing. We've talked about this before. Like, if I was to, if I was able to collect Stan's life insurance, if Stan passed away,
Yeah.
or we're never getting divorced. So
Yeah.
it'd have to be. I'm never dating. I'm never.
Never.
No, I'm
Me
done.
neither, man. I'm done. I'm so done. I can't even. There's no chance that I could. There's no chance that I could. I just couldn't do it again.
No.
You know?
And first of all, there's no other man in this world that's going to put up with me like Stan Ryerson
Right,
does.
right,
that
right.
Poor man.
Same thing. I swear to God, same thing. Kelly nailed it. Hubby and I had a long distance relationship for like 18 months before we moved in together. 2 different states. Sometimes I miss those days. No.
I totally understand.
Distance makes the heart grow fonder. There's a truth to it. Like, there is truth to that. When I was long distance dating for 4 months, so actually it was 6 months. It was 6 months because I proposed to her in April, and she stayed out there for another month and a half before she moved to Southern California. But so 6 months, not 18, but 6. But there was like an excitement. I remember specifically one time where I went to go visit her in New York, and then I got in a car to head back to the airport, and it was so painfully. I was just like, I did.
You did not.
Of course I did.
Oh my goodness.
I did. I was deeply in love, Trace. I was like...
No, he was sad and pathetic. I will admit this because we still were traveling, right? And this is when I was a mentor and distributor. So, we'd go to Chicago shows, all this stuff. And it's like, hi, honey. Hey, babe. Always on the phone. One of those, you hang up first. No, you hang up first.
Not you hang up first.
You cried in a taxi.
I did. I didn't say she did.
Well,
I did.
I couldn't hear her conversation. I could hear you.
Wait, do you think Mavette is going to have that conversation with me?
No, I just heard your end of it.
No. She would hang the phone up in my face if I had that conversation with her. That's not the kind. But it was like that's the thing though. When you have a long distance relationship, you miss each other, right? And then you're excited. Yeah, let's get a place together. You get a place together, and one weekend you're like,
breathing again.
Maybe it's better if they were, that, because it's like that struggle. You always want that struggle. You know what's crazy? I heard this podcast. Listening to this podcast this morning, and it's about this. This guy, he's a famous coach in like MMA and martial arts and all that. But he's also a professor at Columbia. He's got a PhD in philosophy, right?
Oh,
really
wow. Okay.
bright guy. And his name is John Danaher. And he was talking, they were going over this, the conversation was bizarre. They were talking about like humans, if you were immortal, like if you were somebody that was immortal and you couldn't die.
There only can be one.
There's only one, right? You're by yourself and you're immortal. Like you would be the biggest pile of dung that ever, you would do nothing. And I was like, would I do nothing or would I do everything? And it's like it's kind of like this. Imagine like there's no, the greatest challenge in the world of like, I'm going to stay healthy. I want to strive. I want to do things before I die is gone. Right. So it's like,
there's always time.
There's always time.
Why do it now?
So why do it now? Right. Like I don't have to, like, I guess for someone on the other side, like your family and your kids, you probably would see that urgency, but how sad you see everybody go and you're like, as the first time where I was like, oh my God, I don't think I would choose that. You know what I mean? I don't think I would choose, because as human beings at the core of it, you see people that have, like if you have endless amounts of money and you never have to worry about money, it's a different mindset, right? I'd
like to try that.
But like, there's a lot of like, I was listening to another podcast this weekend and he was talking about it was on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he was saying one of his friends who is fairly wealthy knows, like, he's a very interesting guy. He knows a lot of people that he knows a lot of people that in the world that maybe have a dollar to their name and are some of the happiest people
I agree with that.
in the world. And then he said he knows specifically 20 billionaires specifically, and they're all miserable and depressed, all of them.
Yeah.
And that just reminded me of if you're immortal. I know this conversation's so weird right now Monday morning, but if you have endless like money, you have endless time. I don't know. It was just really interesting. I was actually thankful of like, I'm glad I have a finite life, and I'm glad because it makes there's a sense of urgency in my life to do things and experience things and get things done rather than, I've got tomorrow, or I don't know. Tracey, what do you think? Am I crazy?
I would like to try the money thing. Just to taste it. No, you know what? I totally agree with that. I think that you find happiness, and I know people that they live paycheck to paycheck, and they are happy.
Totally.
And then you see people who have lots of money and they have lots of problems. I would like to think I could find a balance somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like as human beings, you need the basics, right? Okay, I need to be fed. Mm-hmm. I need shelter.
Yeah.
And then, family, right? Like I think if you have that in some capacity, it's really all that you actually need. Need. You don't need billions and billions of dollars. Like you just don't, right? Like, and even going after and pursuing your dreams is like a result of those at least food and shelter at the bare minimum, that being satisfied, right? If your food and shelter situation is not satisfied, you ain't going after dreams. You're going after, how am I going to eat today?
Yeah,
Living. Just survival.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the fact that we can have this conversation about, go build a business, go and find what your interests are and explore, or if you love golf or training or MMA, or you love whatever it is you love nails and education, and you want to be this amazing nail tech. It's because your most basic needs are met first, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't, but I know I'm going in like 80 directions right now, but the bottom line is that it's just fascinating to me that like this idea of I need X amount of dollars to be happy is a complete illusion. It's a total illusion.
I think that money sometimes can get in the way because what I've seen is it kind of the family does their own thing. Like they're never doing things really together.
Yeah.
It's just, and you can only do so much shopping.
Yeah.
You can only do so many, I would like to think that the simple things in life are more enjoyable for the most part.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that money doesn't help, but just like going to Cabo makes me extremely happy that I can do that.
Sure.
But do I need to be able to go on a private jet on a,
Right.
Does that make me any happier?
Right.
Well, maybe not sit in the middle seat. I get,
No. I know. It's like there's levels to that, right? But it's interesting. I'm kind of reading the comments while you're talking, and JD Klontz one, stuff doesn't matter. It's the quality of life that matters. Happy is a state of mind. Rich or poor, you are what you make it to be. Choose to be happy. Money's a stress reliever. Yes, it can be. If you're in, and I'm the first one, created by Cooper, I'm the first one to say, if you put your, financial stress is one of the most awful situations. We've experienced it at an extreme level of like hardcore financial stress. Not even having zero, being in the negative so deep, it's extremely stressful. But we put ourselves in that situation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like my dad was working, and he we were, if we wanted to, we could have been fine. But this is the thing. It's like, because our financial situation was like very stable, We had food on the table. We had a home. Greg and I were going to a small Catholic school down the street, private school. Like, all the basic needs and then some were met. So my mom can now start, hey, she had that entrepreneurial drive. She can start to like, I want to do something else. I want to do more. You know what I mean? But if you ask my mom when she was growing up, it's like, she literally talks about day to day, they were just concerned about how they were going to feed their bellies, because she was growing up during the Korean War and it was gnarly and they were dirt poor. And my mom's dad died when he was 40. So it was like my grandmother and 10 kids, like trying to figure out how to eat. That's a different situation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just weird. It's like, okay, I just want to have consistent food every day and a roof over my head, and then I'd be happy, right? And then you get there, and it's like, well, if I had a little bit more of this, why do we constantly have to have, it's never enough.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
It's so true, because, I've thought that in the past. Like, if we could, make another this amount, we'd be comfortable.
Yep.
We get there and it's like, well, let's push the limit and get,
let's go more.
Now I need another so much to be more, and we do that to ourselves
for sure.
a lot. I do it to myself a lot.
No. I mean, like when we were in the depths of hell, financial hell, it was like my mom, Greg, and I would have these conversations. We go, God, if we could just get to no debt. That's all we want. We just want to break even. I just want to get to no debt. And you get to no debt. And then you're like, if we could just, make, and so it's this game that the mind sort of like plays, right? But I got caught up in it. Trust me. I was way caught up in this whole thing of like, we got to do more and like just pushing so hard to grow the business. And today it's very different, because today it's not like I have everything in my life that I want. Like, I'm genuinely grateful and I am happy. I grow the business not for like, we need more money and like I'm going to screw people out of deals, and not at all. It's because I genuinely love the process of like putting this insane puzzle together. And I mean, Tracey, I'm not going to speak for her, but I would say that it's the same for her. Like, this is puzzle, and
I like challenges.
You like challenges, right? And so it's different now. I think it's a lot different now.
I worry, like, we went through some hardships, some struggles, and I think everybody does, where you're comfortable, then things fall apart, and we pretty much lost everything. And we had a teenage son at the time, and RJ's learned how to do hair, he's learned how to do drywall, he's had to work in like some really horrible, him and Stan were traveling when we moved here to the Bay Area every week to work, and they actually slept on the job site with no water, running water. Yeah. So, well, there was running water, but it's cold. Because you have to have water, but not like plumbing. Just like spigots.
Yeah.
Not that Stan. It used to bother Stan that RJ had to go through that, but I think it built a lot of character too. RJ is extremely hardworking, and he knows the struggle.
Yeah.
And I worry about some of these kids who've had it so easy, and not. Believe me, I want children to have it easy, but they have their daddy's credit card. They buy whatever they want. They're judging people because they don't have Gucci shoes.
Right.
You're just like, man, if that kid ever has to go through a struggle, what are they going to do?
It's going to be tough. It's going to be. I think the world has a way of. The world really has a way of like evening things out. So like, if you grow up in that situation where like those are the struggles of like you're judging somebody else's what they're wearing, and I mean, as a kid you don't know anything anyway, like you know nothing, but I think you're in for a rough ride, and hopefully this is all you can hope for, right? Is that at least this is my goal, is like I set my kids up with enough of a good foundation, and so that when the world rocks them, because it's gonna rock you, like there's no two ways, but everybody goes through their own, you get just punched in the face, you know, that you're able to get back up. You know, it might be shocking at first, but you're able to eventually like, all right, get back up, and then you learn something, and then you can progress. So
you grow from it.
You grow from that. Yeah, exactly. So like that's my like it's this weird cycle, because like my mom grew up poor, like real poor, right?
My
like,
parents did too.
Yeah. I mean, the whole like struggling day to day to put food on the table, poor, right? So then when my parents, Greg and I didn't grow up in that. If you compare, sorry guys, if you compare how Greg and I grew up to my, you know, we grew up middle class. We grew up in the suburbs in Orange County, and my parents looked at, and my dad grew up rough too. I mean, he grew up in the Middle East.
Oh, yeah.
He was sent off to Germany when he was 15 to go learn the trade of fixing cars. And he lived in Saudi Arabia for 3 years. And I mean, he had it gnarly, you know. I would have crumbled at 15 with that from where I grew up. You know what I mean? So if you compare that, my parents were looking at Greg and I and going, oh man, you guys are soft, right? Stupid kids, soft ass kids. So then I look at today though, and I look at how my kids are growing up compared to how I grew up. And I'm thinking the same thing that probably my parents thought, of like, my kids have a better situation than I did. They have more opportunity for sure. There's the internet, there's all this stuff. They're in a better place financially than my family was when I was growing up, right? So I'm providing, you know, a better situation, which is the goal for me. But at the same time, it's like, are they going to grow up soft? Well, here's the thing. It's not my kids' fault that they're growing up in a better situation than, that's what I wanted.
As long as you're equipping them, which you are.
Correct.
So that's the difference,
that's
right?
That's the key. That's the key. You have to.
Some parents are, what do they call them, helicopter parents, and like that, you know, their kid can do no wrong. They're never gonna struggle. They're never gonna, you know. I wish schools, instead of teaching some of the stuff that they teach, actually taught these kids how to balance their checkbook.
No, it's true.
Bank accounts.
Or,
you know, and the fundamentals of life, a budget, things like that, instead of half of the garbage that they're being taught.
I agree with you. Education has to change. You know, I see how, like, my kids, I mean, we changed my son's school, which was like the best thing that we ever did. But my daughter, she's got one more year here, but it's very, very, it's the same curriculum that I had, that she has, you know, and I'm like, majority of the stuff you literally do not use. It's not applicable, you know, to real life. And I'm not saying like, okay, 5th grade, you know, hit them with reality now. I mean, to a certain degree, kids should be kids. And it's like, you'll get enough of reality when you get older, that's going to slap you in the face. And it's like, so why not believe in Santa Claus for as long as you can, and the Tooth Fairy, and all this stuff? Like, enjoy this little, you know,
fairy tale
while you can, and be a child. I'm all for that. You know what I'm saying? But why not introduce real life things like, you know, how to balance, how to like dealing with issues and problems. And actually, I will say this. Yeah, there is a lot. They have introduced way more of that part of like mental health, and like there's a lot of this going on in schools today, at least in Los Angeles. There's a lot more than what I had. When I had, it was like, you know, dare, you know, don't do drugs.
Dare. Oh my God.
And
what was the dog's name?
Oh God, I don't remember exactly. I don't remember, but you remember Dare, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
The shirt?
Yeah, the shirt, Dare. And like the firemen would come to our school and talk about don't do drugs, and then that was it, walk out. I think like now there is more conversation around it. But regardless of that, I'm just trying my best to give my kids a good foundation, problem solving. You know, when I see them struggle in the house, it's like, okay, what do you got to do? I literally ask my kids, okay, what do you need to do? What do you think you got to do? I mean, the whole thing with my daughter, where she just literally told school to go F itself and decided not to turn anything in. She hasn't had her iPad in weeks. And
how is that going?
it's just fine.
She still doesn't have it.
No, she still doesn't have it. But I will tell you, she's really turned it around. You know what I mean? She's had a couple little bumps, but
It's consequences.
It's consequences.
That's what's needed. That's
You have
where
to.
that some lack. It's like, oh no, just
Yeah.
give them back their iPad.
Yeah, because you know why? I'll tell you, because the iPad is, I mean, it's joked that it's electronic babysitter. It's real. Like, raising kids is insanely difficult. When you give an iPad, the parents get a break.
Get a moment.
You
yeah.
get, like, dude, I can watch my show for an hour. Let me see if I can get a couple episodes in. You need a break. It's like you work, you come home, like kids, you make them food. Like yesterday, we were watching a show. We went to my in-laws' house for Mother's Day. It was like just hung out with the family. It was super mellow. It was great. Came back home. On the way home, my wife is like, "Hey, can we stop by Pinkberry? That's all I want." You know. I was like, "Hell yeah!"
Pinkberry's amazing.
So amazing. So we stopped, got home. So my daughter's like, "Dad, I'm hungry." Okay. My son's like, "I'm hungry." Okay. So I made these amazing grilled cheese sandwiches. By the way, they're ridiculous. Like,
Where's ours, yeah?
one day I will make. So I made them grilled cheese, and I heat up like pasta sauce so that you dip the grilled cheese in the marinara.
Oh.
Yeah, and you put a little bit of like Havarti in there. It gives it that stringy, and then some anyway. I'm going off on like food.
Hungry.
You got to butter it, and then you put it on the grill, and they dip it and eat it, and then I put some cucumbers, a little bit of salt, and just some basic stuff. But so okay, good. Can I have dessert? Yes. What do you guys want? So give them a little dessert. Can I have? I'm still hungry. Can I have it? And I just like, I'm done. Go make it your damn selves. Like, Dad is officially out of service, off. And they're looking at me, and I'm like, so I get up, and there's this Korean fruit my mom got for my daughter. So you have to cut it up. It's work. You got to cut it up and slice
Dude,
it.
how much
and
is
peel
your
it.
kids eating?
Dude, they like Mila, it's funny. Yesterday,
growth spurt.
She had a growth spurt. Yesterday, she was next to her cousin. Her cousin is like really tall. And my sister-in-law was like, "Oh my God, Mila's the same height as her cousin." And I looked and I was like, "Holy crap, you're right." Like, she's had this like insane growth spurt. I was tripping out. And I looked again. I'm like, this is why she's
Hungry.
She's
Yeah.
hungry, And then Theo's been chowing quite a bit. And then they want dessert. It's always like dessert. I'm like, how many desserts? You just went to they went to the grandmother's house. Not only is she like, here's money, here's 10 for you, 10 for you. And then my father-in-law is like, oh, let me give you 10. And so they're like making money. Oh, let me bring out like chocolates, and they're like chowing and like ice cream, and they come home, they want dessert. I'm like,
And they got Pinkberry on the way home.
and you got Pinkberry on the way home. I forgot about that. You have the nerve to ask me for dessert. So I was like done. And I'm like, no, and then my wife looked at me, she's like, it's still Mother's Day, so I'm out of service too. And I was like, anything you want, honey, I got you. What do you need? What do you want? Like, literally,
So I want you to take care of the kids.
yes, but she just like turned it off. She's like, that's your problem. You guys work it out. I'm out. And because I told her, I wrote her a card for Mother's Day, and I said, your wish is my command for the day. So it's like, whatever you need me to do, I'll do. And she just smiled and was like eating her popcorn and watching her show, chill. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to get you your Korean fruit, Mila. And then Theo wanted this little, it's like this protein shake. I'm going to get you a protein shake. But when I come back, I'm done. Do you hear the words coming out of my mouth? And then,
Same
of course,
words you said before.
Yes, exactly. Went, got them, sat down. They didn't ask me for a single thing after that. It was like, got 1 hour apiece. Because they're stuffed. I got 1 hour apiece, and then the dog jumps off and goes to the door and needs to go out. And I'm like, Mila, Open the door for Sugar.
Let me see if Stan sent this. You got to see this picture.
Wait, I saw you had some puppies at your house yesterday.
Yes, so let me see if he sent it.
Kelly nailed it. The eldest is a nuclear mechanic. Wow.
This is me sleeping.
Why do you
four dogs?
Why do you have all the? Did they drop the dogs off?
So I'm watching Melissa and Eric's dogs for the weekend. I have 4 dogs, so I kind of felt like this. I don't know. I was half awake and like a flash, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" So I'm taking a picture because I'm just sucked in, surrounded.
Let me see that picture. You got to. Is that camera working, Ramon? Is Tracey's camera working? You got to show that picture. That's hysterical. Oh my God. This is insane.
Let's see. There's 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Me in the middle.
Ah, that's hilarious. Oh, that's hysterical.
My back is so sore right now.
Yeah, it looks like it. I wanted to read this from Kelly Nailed It. The eldest is a nuclear mechanic. The next was an electrician before he passed away. My daughter's an auto mechanic, and the youngest is a small business owner. Wow. That's amazing.
Amazing.
Congratulations. My dad was an auto mechanic. It's he had a 55-year career fixing cars, and it provided for our family. It's just I love that your daughter's into cars, man. That's so awesome. Did you actually get sleep? Sorry.
Not really.
Did you? Yeah.
Not really.
Dude, I can't sleep. Wilbur snores and Mr. Sugarpuff snores. I can't sleep with the dogs. Impossible. There's no way.
No, so Melissa's dogs like to be right here on one side, and then my dogs are lined up this side. And then Baxter, around 3, 4 in the morning, he likes to just fling himself across my stomach. So,
was there room for Stan?
He's somewhere in there.
That's so funny.
We have a king-size bed, so yeah, there's plenty of room.
K. Brandon, too. That's me at my house. Dude, that's my wife is with Wilbur. Like, we have a little French bulldog, Wilbur, and it's ridiculous. Like, he's just always looking for her. It's just ridiculous. They have a relationship, and I get a little jealous. I got to admit, I'm a little jelly, but it's not that. Yeah, but I can't sleep with Shug. Shug loves me though.
Why can't you sleep with Shug?
He snores louder than Wilbur. He snores so freaking loud.
I have slept with both of your dogs.
Dude,
They're
I don't.
Fine.
Yeah,
but I'm used to Stan.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Like,
get them little CPAP machines.
The dogs.
Yes.
That would be funny. Yeah, Robin L. Roll on Mr. Sugarpuff. Love it. Yeah, he's a funny little guy. He's a funny little dude.
So cute.
Yeah, he's pretty
gangster.
rad.
He'll cut you.
He will cut your face off, like clean off.
Or at least sneeze in your face.
Yeah, he likes to do that too. And I heard that's like ownership for dogs. They do that to claim ownership.
Does it to me. Like, time to get up. It's 5 a.m. I want food. I'm like ignoring him, and I just all of a sudden he's right here.
Yeah.
And
he's up in your grill. I know. It's hilarious. Guys, it is getting close to 9, and I know Ramon has to get ready for next door. They're doing a class today. We will be back on Wednesday at 9 a.m. and maybe Wednesday at 10, 9. I don't know. We'll figure it out. 9 or 10 a.m. And then Thursday at 9, we're back on our regular schedule again. And
I'll be out next Monday, by the way.
Okay, I'll do. So the next Monday I'll be here with Greg. So Greg and I will rock the Twitch feed.
They'll make
next
fun
week.
of me.
Oh, you have no idea.
Things are lame.
Oh, you have no idea. We're gonna completely. If you want to see us rip on Tracey next Monday, be here.
Monday's your day.
Monday's your day. We'll probably be going over a lot of the products too, and maybe we'll have Greg do some demos then. We should do that this week though too.
Good.
Yeah, we should start doing that this week. I wanted to polish. I wanted to do some color combos today.
You wanted to do some dry brushing. Is what you're all into right now.
Yes, this is D Glove. Happy Mother's Day, belated. I don't know why that's funny to me, but I think it's funny. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. I hope you had an awesome one, belated. Yes, thank you, Darren, for that. And we'll see you guys on Wednesday, and we will do some nails. We just got, this is what happens to me. I start chatting, and Tracey starts chatting, and we forget.
Don't put this on me.
It's all on you. It's on me.
Put that evil on me.
I'll take it. See you guys on Wednesday, 9 a.m. And we're excited, and we will do nails. We're going to start playing. Let's play with more of the products, Trace, on that are coming on deal.
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll start playing with them.
Nice.
We'll just do demos, I think. Just keep playing with them. See what you guys can create, you and Greg. Maybe I'll play with some too. I haven't done nails in a while. We'll see you on Wednesday. Thanks, guys. Hey, guys. Thank you so much for watching these highlights from our Twitch stream. To talk to us live on Twitch. Join us Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings. Come hang with us. We love engaging with you and talking with you in the chat. It's at Young Nails Inc. on Twitch.